Okay, so I went out salsa dancing last night, and I've been trying to bring this, bring it back into my life on a weekly basis because it's a fulfilling activity that I've just been denying myself for no reason. Well, some of the reasons are that I used to go a lot pre-COVID, and I fell off because of many things, COVID, caretaking. And so I lost where all of the good spots were in Baltimore. It used to be a very lively, active community, and I learned everything just from social dancing and finding the good leads. And so I was thinking back about when I first started going out, and I was single. I still am, but I was single, and I really needed to get myself out. And although I was a bit nervous about going out by myself, I did find that salsa dancing or going out salsa dancing alone was a bit more, I guess, attainable or reachable or not as overwhelming as some other things. And because, there's a big likelihood that you'll be asked to dance, and it comes with no other requirements but just to dance, learn, have fun, and then you go on about your day. And you know there's there's nothing that's expected, especially with the opposite sex interaction and with a pretty sensual, connection or movements that you're doing with someone else, and you're just like, that's it. And so you can go, and at one time I felt like I had to have a drink in order to loosen up, but then eventually I didn't. So I was thinking about that first. And then I was also thinking last night as I was dancing, and I was like not stumbling, but there were just some steps that I just don't have down. And it's usually because I'm not really counting. I'm in my head. I'm thinking a bit too much about what's actually happening. And that's how it was when I first started. And I remember when I started to get a little bit better that I would find a way to get out of my head. And usually when I count, like, I'm not counting with my lips, I'm just keeping count, like making sure I'm on the count and then keeping count in my head. But I can do it in a way that it doesn't really look like it. I can smile, I can spin, but I lose all other thoughts about messing up, about the step, about what the man is doing, about my arms and how they're always stiff and they don't ever like do what what he's leading me to do. And I just keep my count, and I know that I'm supposed to step on the count. And I get out of my head and out of overthinking. And so I was thinking about that in relation to just me and my everyday life, and how I can incorporate that same thing into my daily moments when I'm in overthinking drive, which is often, and I'm trying to navigate out of that. So I don't want to call myself an overthinker because I don't want to claim it. But what is my, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 in my daily life? What is my counting in my head that can keep me in the present moment, although it's still getting me to my goal. It's getting me out of my head as overthinking or thinking hyper focused on the steps and what to do and the messing up, just keeping me on count and keeping me in it. And so that's what I was thinking because when I started to count in my head, things just flowed. Like, I was in flow. I was like, I wasn't flawless, but I was more flawless than seconds before when I was not just being in it. I was making the turns and the steps that before I didn't think I could do, or I would be like, oh, I always mess up, or I don't know how to do that. My arms were going up when they never did. And I was in such flow that I recognized it. And I was like, oh, I am in it. I am doing the damn thing on this dance floor. And so when I forget to count, it's not that I mess up all the time, but I know that my head is just in a different place. And so I'm trying to bring that, like I said, figure out what that is for me in my daily working and my daily everyday thoughts so that I can manifest, I can bring in and call in the things with more ease and flow, because that tension of overthinking kind of like is a blocker. So that's what salsa dancing had me all over my head about. What are your thoughts?